I just was having fun the other night. I was like, hey, Dad, let's do a fantasy thing. So if my computer will work, we're going to do a mock draft. If not, we're just going to do some rankings. But I am Isaac with Fun Football. This is a little sneak preview. It's not even a full show. We're just going to have some fun. We will be back on the air on Tuesday, but I decided to kick it off with my dad. So let's do it. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Isaac?
I'm good. So what we're going to do for you guys, if the mock draft at work, we're going to do that in a minute. We're going to give you guys some of our fantasy rankings. I may give him some real ones because I'm in 3 leagues with my dad out of my 4. Actually, I'm joining a 5th. It's free, but I'm in 5 leagues. 3 of them I'm with my dad. He knows we've done fantasy. This is our freak, man. This is our 27th season. We've done this since 1998 together. This is crazy. So he kind of knows what I do, and I kind of know what he does, but I don't care. And I decided to throw this one up live on YouTube just for fun. So I'll throw it up on Spotify later. I'm gonna throw some curves at him and be like, this is what I would do. So, all right, Dad, I'm gonna let you pick. You're the guest.
I see the curveballs.
I think we should. What?
I see the curveballs coming.
All right. So who's your number 1 player overall? I'm guessing it's Jordan Love, right? Number
You're
1.
talking about we're talking redraft here, right? One year.
Yeah, I forgot to say that. We're gonna do redraft PPR rankings, and I'm gonna let you pick. So here's what I think we should do. In case the draft doesn't work, we'll save a couple. How about you pick between quarterback, running back, or receiver? What's up, Jason? Thanks for watching, dude. If you want to hop on at the end, I'll send you the link.
Okay.
I'll invite Jason on near the end. Okay, so Dad, you pick whatever position you want or overall. We'll go back and forth.
Let's go overall.
Let's do overall. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna write them down too to compare, just for fun. Because I want to not so I've got your thing because I don't believe you anyways. But
I wouldn't believe me.
You wouldn't.
I'm giving you my best here. This is for the podcast. So here we go.
All right.
Who do you got at number 1?
My number 1 overall player, and I know it's PPR, so it's tough, but I would still go. I think I would still have to go. Man, that's tough. In a PPR, I'm going to go Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I almost went CMC. He gets honorable mention, and Lamb honestly does too. But I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. Who do you got?
Christian McCaffrey's number 1 in my book.
I like it. Okay, let's give quick reasons why. My reason why on Tyreek Hill, and I think we'll just do the top 25, and then we'll go right into the mock draft, and then we'll do some positions. We'll do like top 10s. But my reason on Tyreek Hill, super quick and easy. I'll do like 10 seconds. If he stays healthy, I think he's the most talented receiver in football. And I think Tua's going to lean on him with that deal. He's going to want to prove that he was worth it. And he's the best weapon the Dolphins have. I'm a little concerned with the running game. Mostert's getting up there. So why do you think CMC is going to be number 1?
This is a tier for me. So CMC and Tyreek Hill are competing for the number 1 spot, right?
Okay.
And CMC was 100 points better than the next running back in 2023. That's just phenomenal. And I don't think I've seen that before ever in fantasy football. San Francisco is a top level team. CMC, if he doesn't get hurt, he'll be the number 1. I mean, Tyreek Hill had a monster season. 119 catches or 1,800 yards almost. And so you got to give Hill some credit for that. So I've got McCaffrey, Hill 1, 2.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. I like the tiers too. I've actually got tiers, but I've got 3 guys in the top tier. So I'll give you my next 2 just to finish the tier, and then you can hit the number 2 pick. My next guy is actually because I'm concerned about injury, it's CeeDee Lamb. And then I'm gonna go, and it was like neck and neck, and then I'm gonna go McCaffrey. And I see them, and I really liked your take from I think I saw it on Footballers. McCaffrey was head and shoulders better than anybody else at running back. It was a distance. I think with good quarterback play, Bijan Robinson and Breece Hall could close that gap. My only concern with CMC is that he's getting up there in age, and he had some injury problems early in his career. So it gives me a tiny bit of pause. These are fluid rankings. So I got Hill, Lamb, and then CMC. So you've got CMC, and then who's your number 2?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Tell me why you like Tyreek Hill.
Oh, I already did. 120, 120 catches. I don't know how many targets. 1,800 yards. A phenomenal season for a receiver.
Yeah, just stupid stats. He's just
that's
so
why
good.
I put Hill and McCaffrey in the top tier.
Love it. Okay, Dad, why don't you give me your number 3?
Jamar Chase is my 3.
Ooh.
Burrow's back, and I don't care about the Madden cover jinx, to be honest. He's got another. They replaced who was the 3 there that they got rid of? Higgins came back. Boyd left, but they might have somebody better in the rookie Jermaine Burton. So I know Mixon's gone, but I like Chase to Burrow to Chase. I think that's a proven connection. Chase should have a great year. In my opinion, he's a solid number 3.
I like it, man. Very good. All right, so you got Chase. Okay. You know what? CMC is the number 1 running back in my fantasy book, Jason says. I agree. Thanks everybody watching too. We're live on YouTube and Facebook and all over Shady Sports. I like Jason's take. Jason, I'm going to kick you in, possibly for the mock, actually, if you want to join. So if you do, just give me a yes in the comments, but I'll throw you the link in the messenger. All right, Dad, let's go back and forth. Let's do like a snake. Who's your number 4?
It's your turn, right? Because I did 3.
No, I know. We'll do 2 picks each.
Oh, 2 picks each? Chase, yeah. And then I'm going to give CeeDee Lamb the credit here. Okay. Dak is good enough to get him the ball. He had phenomenal numbers last year. He doesn't have a lot of competition, for targets. He's probably going to get 30+% in targets. He's a top flight wide receiver. He has to be in the top 5. I got him at 4.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, good stuff, Dad. I'm really close here too. Yeah, I have concern as much as I like Breece Hall. If Rodgers goes down again, I'm concerned. So I don't want to be totally similar here, but I'm going to go Jamar Chase too because I think that he even had a decent season with Browning there. And here's my thought on Chase is that unless Burrow gets hurt, I think that he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league. I think he's one of the only guys outside of CeeDee Lamb that could push Tyreek Hill for the receiving crown. And the funny thing is, and thank you for waking up and doing this with me, I appreciate it. We'll just do the top 25 and then we'll go right into the mock draft, and we can save the other positional ones for another time if it'll work.
Yeah, no problem. I'm up.
But here's my thought on Chase. He's the only guy that could actually challenge Lamb and Hill for the receiving crown. And I checked this out the other day. Hill played almost 2 games less. He got hurt in one of them, and he missed one. And Lamb played all 17 games. But they were within 3 points. It wasn't like the running back position. They were neck and neck. And I think Chase is the only other guy who can challenge that. So I'm with you. All right, I'll give you my number 5 now. I'm going to go another receiver. I'm going to go St. Brown here.
Okay.
I think he's got another level. I loved watching him on – I don't know if you saw the Netflix receiver. I know that's corny, but I just liked watching him on there. It showed me that he cares deeply about his craft, which I already knew, but it wasn't just that. I feel like this guy might have another gear. He's only 3 years in. I think that he has a really good chance. He's one of the only other guys who may have a shot at challenging for it. The Lions don't have a second receiver. Laporta really is it. They use the running backs heavily, but they don't have an established receiver too. So I really like St. Brown. Goff looks for him heavily. So I think that he's great. Hey, Chris, thanks for watching. And Jason said, I got CeeDee Lamb tied with Tyreek Hill for number 1 in fantasy. And Jason's doing an eliminator league with us. So I'll get him on for the mock draft if he wants to join.
Jace.
Yeah. So he's got CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill tied. I like it. All right, Dad. So my top 5 are Hill, Lamb, CMC, Chase, and St. Brown. Who do you have at number 5?
My top five. Okay, my five is my fifth. I didn't ascend Amon St. Brown up to that spot. I did take him down just a tad. I like
Okay.
him. I like him in the first. He's good. He's fine for the first round for me. But I really like Brees Hall here at the
I
fifth
like it.
spot.
I had a
So
feeling. I know you like.
With Rodgers hopefully back, the Jets got better during the offseason too. So what Brees Hall did last year was just, he was just the number two running back in fantasy with
Yeah.
no quarterback in the backfield. So how can it get worse? I don't know. And he's young. Last year was that return from the knee. This year he should be fully. I mean, he was full last year, so this should be an accelerating year for Hall. So I just couldn't keep him out of the top five. So he's my fifth. He's my
I
running
like it.
back two, and he's at five.
So your top five are CMC Hall, Chase, Lamb, and Brees Hall. Good, good rankings. Guys, why don't you leave your thoughts in the comments on what you think of our rankings? We're gonna do our top 25, and then we're gonna go right into a mock draft on probably fantasy football calculator probably is where I'll do it if my internet will actually work, and if not, we'll hit you guys with some quarterback and or running back and receiver rankings after. So we've got some fun stuff for you. All right, so Dad, we're doing this snake style. Who's your number
Who's number
6
number six for me is
player overall?
yeah, it's tough. I like running backs. I like Bijan Robinson in this spot. He's such an elite talent, and he has such a skill set. In fact, it was tough to keep him out of the five, but Brees Hall took that. Um, he's going to definitely be a top shelf running back this year in that system. Um, I don't really see anything in his way. He's younger than Hall. I see him in that tier. Him and Brees Hall are in the same, and they're in the same ballpark. They're in the same tier, and I just couldn't drop him down any further. I had to get him up to six, so I got him at six. Can you hear me?
Right. Yeah, but John at 6. I like it. Okay, hold on. Getting hot. This light on me it's nice, but it adds a lot of heat. Okay. All right. Anybody watching, I want to get your comments on it. But so he had Bajan at 6, which I really like. There's a guy I really like here. I am going to go Brees Hall, though, instead. For the reasons you listed, I think he might have another gear. He's one of the most electric running backs in the league. And if Rodgers can just be healthy for most of the season or all of it, it'll give them stability at quarterback, and teams can't just load up on the box. So I've got Brees Hall at 6. And I'm going to shock you here. Even with the quarterback play, I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, number 7. He might be the actual best receiver in the league. It's just his quarterback situation that scares me. But I think if Darnold can just throw the ball in his general direction, he's going to complete some passes. As much as I like Bijan Robinson, who's probably coming next, I had to do it. Yeah. So
Okay.
Brees Hall and then Justin Jefferson for me. All right. Who's your number 7 overall, sir?
7 for me is Justin Jefferson, same as yours.
Okay.
I think JJ will be able to get him the ball. He's just again, when we're looking at such high talent, we know Justin Jefferson. What was he? I think he was the consensus number 1 last year for fantasy. We know what kind of an asset he is for fantasy. 7, I think, is pretty, generally pretty low for him. But there's a little bit of question there with JJ McCarthy. So a little bit of, he's a rookie. They do have Darnold backing him up though. So I like Jefferson enough to put him smack dab in the middle. Well, that's 7 here. And then do you want me to go? Do I go to 8 or not?
Yeah, do 8. We're doing 2 each.
8 for me is the guy that I left that I did drop down just two or three spots is Amon St. Brown.
Okay.
I know he's going to get the targets. He's proven two seasons in a row that he's a top level producer. I believe that, middle of the first round in number 8 overall, plants him squarely in the first round, I think that's just a really good spot for him. He does have he's got an extremely high floor, and he does have a ceiling that I don't think it's as high as like a Chase or a Lamb.
Mhm.
And I'm not quite sure about Jefferson. That's why I have these two together. But certainly, St. Brown's floor is it's pretty high. So I like St. Brown 8, middle of the first round, middle to later in the first round is a good spot for him.
I like it. Very good. Okay. All right. Let's do. So you had Jefferson and St. Brown. I'll give you my 8. It's gonna be. It's tough. Um, I can't slide them down any further. I've got Bajan. The game that stands out to me last year is that stupid Packer game where he just made our defenders look stupid. That was huge, man. I can't get off that. He was great. I just really the guy's talent is immense, and I think if they get smart and use Algier as a change of pace back, and he doesn't just poach all of Bajan's touchdowns, that is a concern for me. And if Kirk Cousins can be healthy, because I don't really buy Penix, so it's the quarterback play there too. Those are my two concerns. But the guy's got talent that jumps off the screen, so I'm hoping they get smart. As a rookie, he was solid. I think he has a chance to be spectacular. He looks like one of the more talented running backs in the league, kind of like Brees Hall. So we're gonna find out. Number 9. I'm gonna go. This one's tough. I have a lot of players I like here. I'm gonna shock you. I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm a little concerned about Montgomery just taking talent, taking plays away from each other. And Montgomery is a touchdown machine, but I think Gibbs is just a slight notch below Robinson and Hall in terms of talent. But I think if Goff slips, they're going to lean even more on that running game. And I think Gibbs has another level to hit in the NFL. I really like him. I think potential. It's a lower floor than some of the other guys, but he might have a high ceiling. So I like Gibbs here. What do you got?
Right. My number 9 is Jahmyr Gibbs with Detroit. He will get his. He's going to get his touches, and this guy has, he's what 5.2 yards per carry as a rookie, 52 receptions. He's going to get more. He's going to get more. I think that offensive coordinator at Detroit does a good job with both him and Montgomery, and he stayed. Right? Was he supposed to get a head coaching job?
Yeah.
But he's still there, so that's a good thing for Gibbs. So that's why I have confidence in him at 9. And then at 10, for me, it's A.J. Brown with Philadelphia.
Okay.
Receiver.
Like
He's a stable part of the offense. He's gonna get his target percentage. He's proven he got a new contract in place, right? He's set to deliver. He's not elite like the elite receivers, but he's so close. I think that if you're in a redraft, I think you want to be. The way I look at it is, I want to be at 8 or above.
I know. I'm at 9 in ours. I'm kind of ticked about it. We have a dynasty draft, guys, and we have a guillotine for the first time too, and then we have a normal. Corey's a PPR?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a normal PPR redraft too. I agree with you though. It's kind of tough being at 9ish. You could have the potential.
Not really though.
A quarterback,
really, because only one person has to make a mistake, and then you'll have a shot at one of those 8 players that are up.
Exactly, and I think.
And in a dynasty, somebody's going to make a mistake and pick a quarterback. So.
I don't know if you look at this the same way I do, but I had Hill, Lamb, and CMC in one tier, and then those next 5 guys in another tier, and then there's a drop off for me. So to my tier 1 is Tyreek Hill, Lamb, and CMC, and then my tier 2 is Chase, St. Brown, Brees Hall, Justin Jefferson, and Bajan, and then I think it drops off a little bit.
I don't have Lamb in the tier 1 for redraft. I just have McCaffrey and Hill, and then the rest of them.
So it's pretty similar.
The 6 of them are about the same. Yeah.
I don't blame you. The only reason I like Lamb is just their running game is going to suck. So there's a potential that he could have an even better season. They don't have a third receiver. I don't know how much Cooks has left. Ferguson's serviceable, but he's really their bread and butter. If he reports, I'm starting to get concerned about that because, I mean, that killed everybody with Josh Jacobs last year. Remember how high he was drafted? And then he was a bust. So, yeah, it was, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not this year. All right, man. This is where it's getting fun. So you had AJ Brown, and I'm gonna go AJ Brown as well at 10. Not just trying to copy you. The reason why I like him here,
are you following my same list?
You've done it to me too. Man, AJ Brown's one of the best receivers in football. If Jalen Hurts has another gear as a passer, then he could rock this. I really like I think he's got a high floor and a pretty solid ceiling this season. I think he'll get over 100 targets. I mean, Saquon could poach some of that, and Hurts might poach some of their touchdowns in the red zone potentials for him. But I mean, he's the number one by far, like as good as Devonta Smith is. If they get, and to me, they should have better play calling with Kellen Moore this year. So that offense as a whole should run way more efficiently. So I've got AJ Brown, and then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Puka Nacua at number 11.
Okay.
The reason why is, as much as I like Kyron Williams and he's close here, if he gets hurt, you don't know if Blake Corum's going to be in the NFL, and you don't know if Cooper Kupp's going to stay healthy. So Stafford is, I mean, there's slight injury concern with him, but if he stays healthy, he's going to sling it to Nacua. I think he's their de facto one. Cooper Kupp's a little over 30, and he had a couple of great seasons, but if you look at his career, it really had a high ceiling for like a year or two, and he's been pretty injury prone for a lot of his career. So I think he'll miss some games no matter what. So I like Nacua here in a PPR especially.
All right. That makes sense. What am I on, 11?
Yeah, you're at 11.
This
is good because I don't know if the mock is going to work with my stupid internet. So
fear not, because those Jonathan Taylor
I knew you were going.
He is in the first round. He belongs in the first round. That's where he's going to be put. So he's at 11. He's pretty talented guy. Richardson's going to be back second year. He's going to be better, and they have a pretty good offensive line there. I just think that, he's got the potential to put up RB1 type numbers. Overall, he's got the potential to do that. And Indy is a kind of a sleeper. They're a sneaky good team. So I like Jonathan Taylor there at 11.
Okay, you got 12.
And 12 is Kyren Williams.
I like it.
Let's not sleep on Kyren, because this guy was what did he do when he was in? And when he wasn't injured, he was.
She said we're twins.
We're twins.
Dave said I look just like you too without the hat. This is the haircut. It looks better.
So I like Kyren because he's just a little dynamo when he's in the game. I know he was injured last year. I know that. But I just gosh, there's too many things to talk about with Kyren Williams.
Well, was he top 3 in fantasy when he was healthy in that stretch?
When he was healthy, right? I think he was number 2.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So as long as he's in the game, you've got a dynamo. And a lot of people are worried. I think it's kind of baked in here with the Blake Corum, is that his name? The rookie running back that got drafted?
Yeah, Blake Corum from Michigan. Yeah.
And I think people have cooled off a little bit on Kyren. Otherwise, would he potentially, should he have moved up the charts into the first round? Well, I've got him at 12. I kept him in the first round because I have confidence in him, and I like the way LA and the coach seems to use one back. So I like that. I would go with Kyren Williams here.
Okay, so we are done with your first round. We'll go a little faster so that we can maybe hit the mock or break it down to some positions. But no, I'll go a little faster too. I like your first round. So you had, after your top five, you had Bajan at 6, Jefferson at 7, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 8, then the other line, Gibbs at 9, Brown at 10, Taylor at 11, Williams at 12. I'm going to go ahead and go I'm going to go Kyron Williams here at 12. As much as I like Taylor, I want to see him stay healthy. I know it's the same concern with Williams, but I want to see Taylor stay healthy. He's shown some awesome potential, but it's been a couple of years now. So
Sure.
Richardson being healthy could take a huge load off him, but we'll
Yeah.
see. So Janae agrees. I haven't caught any of this. I caught a minute of the Hall of Fame game, so hopefully it's fun. I'm happy football's back. But at 13 here, then I'll go Jonathan Taylor. I think he deserves to be. He's a fringe first rounder. Again, I want to see him stay healthy and be dominant for most of the season. So that's my 13.
Damn.
Yeah, I had him outside the first round.
I don't know if I agree with that.
We're very similar on our top 25s here. It's crazy. All right, who you got at 13, man?
Okay, I've got a little bit of a surprise here. Okay, this guy he's
quarterback
on one of the best teams in the NFL. He gets 20 plus touches a game when he's in. McKinnon is gone. He has the lead role in Kansas City, and he's going to take it and run with it. It's going to be a good spot. He's a sneaky good. He's got the potential to be a top 3 running back this year in fantasy. It's Isaiah Pacheco at number 13.
Solid. I like it. Okay. All right, you went
for
Pacheco there?
And then my 14.
That's
do
interesting.
you want me to do 2?
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Go ahead. Take your next one.
My 14 is Puka Nacua. I think he rounds out this tier. Puka is going to get his target share. Cooper Kupp's going to be a little healthier this year, though, so that could cut in a little bit.
It could. They don't really have a third receiver tight end, but it could.
So because of that, I dropped him just a few spots. I still think 14 for Nacua, it's pretty impressive to be rated this high. He's and this is the last of this tier for me. So number 14 is Puka Nacua.
I like it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. As much as I like Pacheco, there's another guy here that I just have serious thoughts on, and it doesn't really end a tier for me. I like Pacheco, but I'm gonna go Saquon Barkley in Philly. I like his potential in Philly. I think that with the only concern I have is Jalen Hurts poaching his TDs and him being hurt, but there's gonna be so much less pressure on him there in Philly versus New York. I don't know if he quite has the explosiveness he had, but if he has 90% of what he had as a rookie or a couple of years ago, he could have 1,500 plus yards there if Kellen Moore can scheme up the right plays. They've got 2 dynamo receivers, a tight end, and Jalen Hurts. That offense could be sick. I'm concerned about injuries with him, but I gotta slot him in the high second round. I like him. And then at 15, this comes down to Rodgers, but if he's healthy, I see massive potential. I'm going Garrett Wilson here. This dude's been freaking quarterback proof. He's been over 1,000 yards with freaking Zach Wilson. That's ridiculous. With Zach Wilson as your primary quarterback, and this dude has been quarterback proof. I like if Rodgers can just be freaking slightly better than mediocre or healthy, they're in great shape. So it comes down to if Rodgers can be healthy. It's a high risk pick, but I see high reward there with Wilson. He could easily fly up into the top 10 if Rodgers is healthy. It's a big risk though. So I'm going Garrett Wilson. We're about halfway through this top 25. What you got?
I got my 15 is Garrett Wilson.
Look at that.
He's a target hog. He's a very talented guy. Hopefully maybe Rodgers can stay healthy, but the point is that it's again, would he be a little bit higher here if we had more confidence in Rodgers? Probably. Either way, he's a true alpha, receiver on that team. He's gonna be a target hog, and he's gonna get not only his yards and his touchdowns. He belongs up here. He's at 15. Number 16 for me is switching positions, and we're going to get our first quarterback who's going to come in right now. And it's a tough one. This is controversial because it's Josh Allen with Buffalo. I know he lost Diggs. I know he's got a new receiving core. I know all of that. But 3 out of 4 years, the top quarterback fantasy, 3 out of the last 4, that's very impressive. And he runs, so he gets you running yardage. He gets you some running touchdowns. What did he have? 36 touchdowns last year, 4,200 yards. And I don't know, was that an off year? But he can do a lot of different things. I think that he makes mistakes. He does. I understand the check marks or the cons against him, and I know this is a little controversial, but I think quarterback comes in here about the the middle of the second round, and my first quarterback is Josh Allen, so that's why I take him at 16 because he's a proven asset.
Okay. All right. I'm going to shock you here. I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 16.
16?
Yeah. I think he is going to be an absolute stud. There could be a slight learning curve. I have questions about the quarterback, about Murray, but if he's healthy, he's been a fringe MVP. He's been a Pro Bowler. He's got talent, and he's going to go to him heavily. The only other guy there is Trey McBride. I don't know about their second receiver. He could be okay, but Harrison's going to be a receiver one galore. I really like him here. I think he's going to be awesome. I love the potential. So I like the Josh Allen pick. It's that's pretty smart. But no, I had to do it there. Little torn on 17. There's a few guys here I like. I think I'm going to go first tight end. I think I'm going to go Sam Laporta, actually. I think tight end is a shallow position, and it's smart to get one early. There's some other running backs and receivers I like here, but I think Laporta has another gear and could easily have 1,000 yards and have a massive target share in PPR and give you a safe tight end that's probably going to be healthy for the whole year, and that's huge, kind of like getting Josh Allen. So I'm going to go Sam Laporta at 17. I think he's worth it.
I like it.
It's a little high, but I like him. So I can't just go standard off these rankings. I basically did it for the first 10, 12 picks. I got to throw some flyers in here to make this fun. So
my 17 is Travis Etienne Jr. with Jacksonville.
Okay, Etienne.
Etienne's got to get played here in the middle of the second round. This is about where he belongs. He's a good running back. He doesn't really have any competition. The guy they drafted last year doesn't look like he's going to compete. Trevor Lawrence will be better this year. The offense will be better. They will be better. They do have a new wide receiver draft pick. And that's Etienne is a good pass catching back as well. So I don't see how he can drop much further. He's a clear cut RB1, on a 12 in a 12-team league. So he's value there, good value, I think. And then at number 18 is the rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. from the Arizona Cardinals. 6'3", 205, right? And this is what I wrote on him. He was born to run routes in the NFL. We don't know if he should go higher, but like you and I said, you had him at 16, I had him at 18. He definitely shouldn't go lower, than this. It's hard to place him, but middle of the second round that's pretty high respect for a rookie wide receiver. I don't know the last time we saw one go this high.
In the second round, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I love it. That's fun. All right. Okay. So we're at 18. And like I said, I don't know if my internet's going to hold up. So at least we got these top 25 in. This is tough. Okay. So I like the Marvin Harrison. I knew you were going to throw him in there. I was waiting for it. I'm looking at a couple different rankings. There's a lot of guys I like here. I'm concerned about quarterback play with a couple of them. I think I'm going to go with Pacheco here at 18. I liked your take for him even higher. I think that they've got some receiver flux in KC. Receiver ice could be suspended. Maybe he doesn't, but I think he probably gets suspended for a few games. Hollywood Brown's always hurt, and Xavier Worthy, as fast as he is that going to translate to actual like production or just a few deep shots? So the receiver room might not be as improved as people think. Rice could be better, but he may miss time, so that could impact him heavily. And the Chiefs, Kelsey's up to 35. They're going to lean on the running back game even more. Ooh, Jason with a hot take. He said he would take Neighbors over Marvin Harrison Jr. I like that take, Jason. My only concern would be Daniel Jones. Neighbors' talent is extreme. I like that take, dude. Good take. I'm gonna go Pacheco here at 18, and then at 19. Here's my concern with Josh Allen. He's been the quarterback one for a few years, and my concern is that the receiver room around him is just so dang bad. So I'm going to shock here. I'd actually go Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to take the quarterback one spot. He gets a lot of rushing TDs. If he has another gear as a passer, and I think that Kellen Moore is going to scheme up that offense much better than the crap they had last year with that talent. So I'm going to go Jalen Hurts here. I think he has another level as a passer. I'm going to go with him as the first quarterback taken.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I already have my first quarterback taken.
Yeah. So you were at 19.
Jason stole my thunder, dude.
Malik Neighbors
stole my thunder. My number 19 is Malik Neighbors with the New York.
I like it, Jason. We got a hot take here, Dad.
Yeah.
This guy dropped his whole rankings. I'll throw it in a second. It's good. He dropped his whole 25. We'll look at it in a minute when we're done. I'll throw it up.
So
Malik Neighbors, pitch Malik Neighbors.
So when I said, it's odd to be talking about a rookie wide receiver, Marvin Harrison, right, getting taken in the redraft so early. We got two of them, and in my NFL rankings for the NFL draft, I think Izac knows this. I actually had Neighbors. I believe he was the number 2 overall on my rankings. He was ahead of Harrison.
Wow.
Slightly.
Yeah, you did. That's right. Because we did all that draft. You're right. We did all that draft stuff in April and March. Well, mostly April. Neighbors, I remember you had Neighbors higher. Yep.
Neighbors looks phenomenal. He looks like he's going to be just a great talent. He's going to be elite the moment he steps on the field. The only problem is that he's in New York, and that may not be a huge problem because how many balls are going to go his way? Is his target share going to get up to 35, 40? I don't know, but he should get plenty of
man, because they don't have much else. People forget that freaking Darren Waller retired. What else do they have? Like if Hyatt doesn't pan, Wendell Robinson, that receiving core was maybe next to the Patriots, the worst receiving core in the league. If you take Darren Waller off of it,
he would have been ahead of Harrison had it been. If Neighbors was in Arizona and Harrison was in the Giants, it would be a flipped ranking. So good take, Jason. 19 for Malik Neighbors, right?
Okay.
And then my 20 is coming into Jalen Hurts. The quarterback has to get his props here. He runs well. I was a little disappointed with him last year, obviously, but he gets those tush pushes. And from what I understand, we lost they did lose the center, but those tush pushes they're gonna continue.
Absolutely.
They're not going anywhere.
You got to think the Jason Kelsey effect is going to hurt a little, but the talent they added with Barkley and the OC talent that they upgraded, and they got younger. On the O-line is the big question mark, and if they can stay healthy. But yeah.
So I like Jalen Hurts with his upside and his rushing touchdowns that he gets. So I'm going to put him at 20.
Good take, man. All right. I'm going to shock you here. Maybe. I don't know if it's actually a shock. I'm going to go Derrick Henry. I think that he's got another season or two left. I think going to Baltimore is going to revitalize him. They have a good O-line. They have Lamar Jackson, which could be a negative, but it'll also take pressure off him. They still have Zay Flowers. They have the 2 tight ends. So they've got weapons. It's not going to be all focused on him. And he was still pretty solid last year. Just it comes down to how much he has left in the tank. But I think he's one of those potentially all-time great kind of guys that that has another year or two left at 30. I think he wants to get that ring, and I think they're going to use him well. Maybe he won't be as special fantasy wise as he just will mean to that team, but I think he'll hit 1,000 yards rushing. So I've got him in that low end round 2 range. And then at 21, yeah, I don't think I can wait on him anymore. I'll go ahead and go Josh Allen here. Even with the receiving talent gone, the dude's just been stupid good. I think they'll figure out enough on offense, and he'll run the ball and use James Cook as a receiver. They'll figure it out. So I just got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been stupid good in fantasy. Jason says he would take Jordan Love over Jalen Hurts in that spot. Interesting. And I'm gonna hit this. I know we're not done yet, but I'm gonna hit this guy's top 25 because we're close. This is good. So he would take McCaffrey, Lamb, Hill, Chase, Jefferson, St. Brown, Brees Hall, Bijan, Garrett Wilson, Gibbs, AJ Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Barkley,
Nice.
Cooper Kupp, neither of us have said yet, Adams, neither of us have said yet, Olave, London, also neither of us have said either of those guys, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Kyron Williams, Mahomes, Mike Evans, Pittman Jr., Laporta, Lamar Jackson. Solid rankings, dude. I like it. I had to hit him. I didn't want him to wait too long.
Where are we at?
You got pick number 21. You got 5 left. I got 4 more.
All right. I got Devon Achane, number 21.
Okay.
I think that, he's just too electric when he's out there, and it's his second year. Generally, you ascend in your second year. He should have his fantasy impact last year was we all know what it was. He's my RB7, I think, or 8, but he's got to get in there. I like a Shane, and then 22. Did I finish this one? Yeah, and then 22 is Barkley. I'm down on Barkley this year. Obviously, he's not in my top 20.
Just a little bit, huh?
I just think that they lose the center. That offensive, they're in a little bit of a flux. Also, Jalen Hurts takes rushing touchdowns away. Let's just be honest about it, right? And he doesn't. From what I understand, he's going to get less goal line work, right? And I'm worried about his touches in the passing game. They might not add up to elite targets. So with those two things, and a little bit of injury issues, trust me, I like Saquon. I just think it's gonna be a little cautious here. I got him at 22.
All right, I got some fun surprises for you in my last 4 picks. I'm gonna go ahead and man, he's steady. I can't go any further down. I'm gonna go Mike Evans here. He's steady Eddie. He's always good. He's one of the guys that's earned it. I'm gonna keep that one short. He's awesome. He deserves to be up there.
Hold on, I gotta flip 3 pages to find him. Hold on, wait.
What's up?
Hold on, I gotta flip 3 pages in my book to find him.
Okay.
What would be 22?
Yeah. And then you're funny. And then I'm gonna go. Damn, this one's tough. A lot of good players here, but I can't drop him any further. Devontae Adams has earned it. I'm going to go and go Devontae Adams at number 23. I know he's got a bad quarterback situation and he's ticked there, but maybe he gets moved and actually gets a decent quarterback, or maybe their quarterback play just slightly improves. He's just such a good receiver. I think he's good for 1,000 yards no matter what. So I think he's going to get the lion's share of the targets. I know they've got a decent second receiver and they've got the rookie there, but it's still Devontae Adams. I don't think his talent has dropped off at all, actually. He played hurt last year significantly. He's getting up there a little bit in age, but he's still stupid good. So that's my number 23. You got 20. You're up at 23 and 24 here.
23 is Nico Collins with the Houston Texans.
I like that one a lot.
3.
I like that one. I almost threw him up there.
When you add Diggs to the mix, Nico's still going to get he's still going to be the wide receiver 1 in an ascending team with a second-year quarterback who was an MVP candidate. Hard not to put Nico higher but but he belongs, I think, in the top 25. So had to sneak him in the list at 23, right?
Like it. Yeah, you got two more. If you want to just knock them both out, I'm game. That's fine. We can recap them. Go ahead. I'll
All
do my
right.
last two.
And then
Like I said, I don't
24.
know if the internet's going to take it, so this is most of our show. It almost bugged out earlier. I'm going to try it after this, but it may fail. So
24 is going to be Chris Olave with New Orleans.
good pick.
New OC in New Orleans, right? From what I understand, they're going to use more play action. Olave shouldn't be as stagnant in the offense in the outside position like he was before. He's a very talented receiver. I think he's got a ceiling that could be, in the top 5 to 7 this year. Derek Carr isn't a horrible quarterback. He's all right, so things could improve for him, and I like him. And then 25 is Jalen Waddle, and he belongs also in the top 25 uh, with Tyreek Hill. I understand Tyreek's going to get a majority, but he's got an extremely high floor. His ceiling may not be as high, but hey, if Hill gets injured, Waddle, we'll be talking about Waddle in the first round, like as a first round or a top shelf wide receiver. So, and I don't have the exact stats, but I know that he was phenomenal when Hill was out. So I like Waddle in that high octane offense. I think Miami's going to be probably passing the ball more this year. So that's what I've heard.
You're my first fantasy expert I brought on the show, by the way.
Nice.
I got some fun stuff to pitch before the internet may crash in a second when we try our mock draft, because I have a feeling it will. So we might just do a ranking show, because I try to buy Ethernet cable, and whenever I do an extra screen, it just hates it. Okay, I was torn. I was looking at a bunch of guys here. This for number 24. This one's tough because there's a lot of guys I like at the position. I'm very torn between two receivers here, and I'm going to shock you at my 25th pick. But yeah, as much as I like Chris Olave, that quarterback situation scares me. His target share is high, but I think that if Tyreek were to take a tiny step back, or the which I don't think he will, not yet, but if the Dolphins' running game takes a step back, I think Waddle's going to be awesome. So I'm going to go with him. As much as I like Malik Neighbors, he gets an honorable mention, but I don't trust any other targets there. If he looks excellent, I think teams will double him, and I don't trust Daniel Jones. So it's less of a knock on Neighbors, who would be like one of my next picks. I'm going to shock you. I'm going to go Jordan Love at 25. I think he's going to have an awesome season. I think he was the quarterback 5 last year. There's a chance teams get tape and he drops off, but we have a younger running back. I don't know if it's better. I like the Marshawn Lloyd pick. Our receivers just got a year of experience and some awesome playoff experience. I think they're going to come in, and this machine is going to be more well-oiled by week 4 instead of week freaking 11. You know what I mean? So it just comes down to if there's a consistent run game. The pass protection was great last year. If it can even border that again, only 30 sacks given up, an NFC low, I love it. That's where I'm at. So let's recap. We'll try a mock, and if it sucks, we'll just we'll pick a position group and hit it. Okay?
Sure.
We kind of already did, but we could, whatever. It's cool. Or I have another idea we could talk some Packers for a minute. But all right. My top 25, I got Tyreek Hill. And number 1, I got CeeDee Lamb. This is PPR, people. Number 2,
I can't hear you. Where did you go? What happened? What happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? Are you there? Are you there? What happened?
Hey, Dad. Sorry, this computer just never does it. Uh, oh, they're up in a rain delay, huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. I can't hear you. 1 second. All right, now I can hear you. Sorry, my internet crapped out. I knew it was going to do that. So, what are you going to do? You there?
Yep.
It always does this later. Next time we'll have to hit the mock right away because it starts crapping out at like 30 minutes. The longer I stream, the more bandwidth it puts on the internet. So no mock draft tonight, sorry. But I have some fun ideas. Honestly, we could do one off the air. It's no big deal. All right, let's hit our top 25s, and then I've got a fun idea to cap to end this, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I got Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, CMC, Jamar, Chase. These are bound to change, people. We'll probably do some more. St. Brown, and my tier 1 is just Hill, Lamb, and CMC. And then my tier 2 at number 4 is Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, St. Brown at 5, Brees Hall at 6, Justin Jefferson at 7, and Bijan Robinson at 8. That's my tier 2. My tier 3 is Jamar Gibbs, A.J. Brown, Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams, Jonathan Taylor, and Saquon Barkley. That's my tier 3, those 6 players. And then my tier 4 is Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Sam Laporta, Pacheco, and Jalen Hurts. That's my tier 4. And then the rest is my tier 5, Derrick Henry at number 20, Josh Allen at 21, Mike Evans at 22, Devontae Adams at number 23, Jalen Waddle at 24, and then I shocked it wasn't just for Jason. Number 25, Jordan Love, a homer pick for you.
All right, you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is number 1.
Wow.
Tyreek Hill is number 2. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're good. He couldn't hear me, is what he was saying. My internet crapped out.
Jamar Chase is number 3. CeeDee Lamb is number 4. Brees Hall, it rounds up the top 5. Bijan Robinson at 6. Justin Jefferson at 7. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 8. And that is kind of my tier there. And then we go down to Jahmyr Gibbs at 9. A.J. Brown at 10. Jonathan Taylor at 11. And Kyren Williams at 12. Isaiah Pacheco at 13. Almost sneaking into the first round. Puka Nakua at 14. Garrett Wilson at 15. Josh Allen at 16. Travis Etienne, right, at 17. 18 was Marvin Harrison Jr. Malik Neighbors at 19. Shh, don't tell anybody. Jalen Hurts at 20. Devon Achane at 21. Saquon Barkley falling to 22. 23 is Nico Collins. Don't sleep on Nico. And 24 is Chris Olave. Then we have Jalen Waddle rounding out the top 25.
I like it. Good stuff. All right, since the mock draft isn't going to happen, I got an idea. Why don't we just do some quick Packer thoughts? And then I want to get a few guys that you think have a potential to rise into the top 25. We'll end with Packer thoughts. So who's a guy, Dad, that or maybe let's do like 2 or 3, like we did in the Wolf Spaces on Twitter. But I might do a Spaces tomorrow. I haven't decided. I've done stuff every day this week, so I may take a day off. But anyways, who's somebody you see as a sleeper in PPR? We'll save Dynasty for another time. And just general PPR, who's a running back sleeper that you think has a potential to rise up?
What do you mean by how we defining sleeper? Like
he has a potential to really break out. He could be a pickup candidate or somebody that you think has a shot to climb into like the top 8 to 10
of their
running backs. Yeah, just a couple. Like for me, I would say I like James Cook. I didn't put him in there. He's a little undersized, but he almost made my top 25. He was awesome for a stretch last year. He wore down at the end. I'm concerned about his workload ability, but if they use him properly, they're going to run the ball heavily in Buffalo. I think and the weather gets bad there in November. I think he has a chance to be pretty good.
All right. DK Metcalf.
Okay, receiver. Okay.
I think he's got a shot to hit that second round value, be a wide receiver one for sure. He's
Okay.
some of the experts that I watch. I've seen him picked several times by the experts. There's a new offensive coordinator in Seattle, and it should be a more pass friendly or heavy offense. And Metcalf will have he's going to get his target share, so he could have kind of a bounce back year, which could bounce him into the top 25. Who's your next guy?
This guy, Justin, he's got some good takes, man. You're gonna have to come on sometime. He's got Rashad White as a sleeper running back to climb up into the top 25. I like it. Okay, I got another one for you. It's a homer pick. If he can bounce back, and he tends to do this, be wildly up and down. Is you know who it is? Who is it?
No, I was talking to Justin because
I like that. That's a good take. If he can improve as a runner too, man, he wasn't bad as a runner.
Player. We went to 25. He was my next player on the list.
I like it.
But go ahead.
No, I'm going to go Josh Jacobs here. I think that he has the potential to bounce back. He's a heavy workload. Didn't look great last year, but I think he's going to come in motivated because he's going to want to keep getting paid because the way we structured the deal, we could easily cut him after 2 years, really, maybe even next season if Lloyd was great and he wasn't. I don't think we'd cut him 1 year into the deal, but after 2 years, the deal is pretty easy to cut from what I saw. He's not getting paid a ton this year. He gets more off incentives. I think he's going to want to. I really think he's going to want to play well for the Packers. So I got Josh Jacobs as my. Those are two of my running back sleepers. The Rashad White one's excellent. I love it.
Let's go with quarterbacks you think will be bounce back.
Okay, so quarterback, and I'll give you receiver. A quarterback that I think could bounce back, and this is not a hot take, is it's Joe Burrow, man. He almost actually made my top 25. Honestly, if I was giving my honest rankings, not lying a little to you, and I didn't lie to the viewers, but I lied to you just a tiny bit. Joe Burrow, if he's healthy, he doesn't run much. I'm concerned about his health, but if he's healthy, I think he's going to come back with a vengeance and want to be like a comeback player of the year candidate. So I got Joe Burrow.
I'm going to give you mine, and this is real shit, okay? So I'm just saying, real stuff. I'm sorry for swearing for the little ones.
Real stuff? Is this real stuff, Dad?
Yes. He's been a top 7 quarterback fantasy producer, top 5 rushing quarterback. He has added weapons. He's healthy. They had 8 picks in the first 3 rounds of the draft. I think 5 or 6 of them are going to be starters on the Arizona Cardinals team. So I'm going with Kyle Murray as a quarterback.
Kyle Murray. Tell me about Kyle Murray. No, you know what? The Marvin Harrison thing is huge, man. Just having a number one. I agree.
McBride. He's got Harrison. He's got a new running back in the backfield. He's got Connor still. They have, like I said, they have eight players that they drafted in the first 3 rounds. 5 or 6 of them are going to start. You know what I mean?
Good take, man.
Be quality players. That the Arizona will be a better team. Hopefully, Murray. If Murray can stay healthy, I think he's a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, I like that a lot. Kyler Murray is a bounce back. Is awesome. I want to do some rookies too, if you're cool. Maybe go for like 10, 15 more minutes, and we'll call it. The people here I'm having fun with. Dad, this is a blast doing this with you. Okay. I got another one for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to shock you here.
Huh?
I'm curious how Justin Herbert's going to do with good coaching. And I like Lad McConkey. I know they lost their receivers, so it may not be as strong as last season, but I think Justin Herbert's a solid sleeper that people might be sleeping on, that he has the potential to bounce into the top 5 to 7 QBs and be worth it. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, dude. And Jason agrees about Josh Jacobs. Here's my thought, okay? Everyone's sleeping on Herbert. He's got a huge arm. If Harbaugh can work with J.J. McCarthy, the talent that Herbert has, as down as I am, with solid coaching and just good play calling, he might not hit the heights of last year, but I think he has a massive, easy chance to exceed his ADP. I really do. I think he
I'm going to argue with you on that one.
I don't blame you. It was a hot take. I had to throw one in. But you got, he lost. I mean, losing Keenan Allen, Mike Williams sucks. I'm just thinking of somebody that people might be sleeping on.
Oh, yeah, I was just kidding with you.
Oh, you're good. You have to disagree a little bit.
It was a good take. Which position are we? What are we doing next?
Let's do one or two more QBs, and then we'll hit a running back, receiver, a tight end, a few rookies, a couple Packer thoughts, and we'll call it a night. I'll be back on Tuesday.
My last quarterback. I've seen him a lot on the expert picks.
Oh, apparently this is bad. Ouch.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Hebert's in a walking boot?
I heard about friggin' DeAndre Hopkins. I heard about that one.
So the quarterback I think is going to bounce back this year from last year, and I had him in fantasy last year, is Trevor Lawrence. I think he's just his arm talent, he's just too good. I think Jacksonville, I just kind of have him poised for a bounce back overall, the team. So I think Trevor Lawrence is one of the ones that I like.
Okay, how about a quarterback do you think that'll be a bust? One or two?
Okay, you want to give yours first?
Yeah. I don't know about Anthony Richardson. I don't know if he's going to stay healthy. I only saw him for 3 games. I think he has a potential to be great if he plays 17 games. But is he going to be able to throw in the NFL? He actually wasn't that great last year. He was barely over 50% completion. And can his body hold up? That's a concern. So just mainly injury, but a guy that I think could drop off some. I think Jared Goff, as good as he was, that might not be a hot take. I think they might lean more in the running game, and I think you might have seen the best version out of him last year. It's also potentially comes back pissed about losing in the playoffs the way they did, and the whole team comes back with a vengeance. I actually have them going to the Super Bowl, but I think it's going to be on the strength of that running game. I think Gibbs is going to be even better in Montgomery. But I like the weapons around him. I just have questions about Goff's arm talent, and when there's pressure, he turns into a pumpkin. We saw it in Thanksgiving. So the Lions aren't going to be a surprise this year. Everyone's going to be gunning for them.
I'm looking for him on my list. I can't find him yet because he should be
well, that's good then. I had him as a bust, so there you go.
No, I'm talking about the guy I'm thinking about.
Okay. Isaac, I was going to say Goff.
I'm not a huge Dak fan, and I think that he's
That's
overrated.
a good take.
And I know CeeDee Lamb's good, and I know they have they had a great season last year. I just don't think it's going to be what it is. I think the Packers. I think there's going to be a hangover on the Cowboys team from the Packer loss in the playoffs. But that's just I just have a gut feeling about that, and I think that until Dallas moves past Dak, I think they're just going to be kind of stuck in neutral. So I'm not a huge Dak fan, and I know that's probably not popular, but especially with you in Dallas, but that's the way I think.
No, I like it. There's a guy, I got a weird one for you that I'm not sure about. Ooh. So, Dad, this is the guy that's going to hop on with us in a couple. Actually, he's going to hop on a show you're not coming on, and then he's going to hop on the fantasy show in 4 weeks at the end of August. He's really cool. Goff is probably undervalued. I was torn on that one because I'm just concerned about the offensive line should be really good, but if there was an injury or if they played a team that gets a lot of pressure, it's sad. Goff actually improved at this last year, but you saw games like that Packer game, and I don't know. I feel like they're going to use the run game a little more, but that's solid, Rev. I like it. I got another one I'm not sure on.
With all of the pieces around Goff, I don't. I think that's what I look at. That team. So I think he's undervalued as well.
I like it. I'm not sure about Brock Purdy. Where should he be on a quarterback list? Like, should he be around 7 or 8? Should he be lower in fantasy? He's got a plethora of weapons. My concern is health. Debo's been perpetually injured. Kittle got hurt at the end of last year. He's 30. Some of their players starting to get up there, like McCaffrey. If McCaffrey went down, they'd be in big trouble. Trent Williams is holding out. Ayuk has had contract issues. Is that 49er offense going to not be quite as good as last year?
Are you just looking too much into it? I mean, he was a quarterback, 6 or 7 last year, and he's got pretty much the same team returning along with a first round receiver coming in Pearsall, right?
That's true.
And
That's a good point. He
still
does
has
have Pearsall coming in.
I mean, people still
Yeah,
have to,
you might be right.
so shouldn't he be like QB, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, is he a legit fantasy starter at, is he a top 12
That's
quarterback?
my question. I mean,
Probably. Last year he was smack dab in the middle. He was a 6. So I don't know. I think Purdy's fine, but that's just my take on it.
good take. All right. I gave you a couple of my running backs. You got any running back sleepers?
Sleepers or
Or
best?
if you want to skip the sleepers, you want to hit some rookies. I'm game.
Okay,
Your
okay,
favorite. You love rookies.
go for the. I know all the rookies.
Okay, give me. Who do you think is going to be as a shot to be the number one rookie running back?
Well,
Is it Carolina guy?
that's a big question right there.
It's tough, isn't it? I mean, you've got Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson. This is an interesting one. He's a sleeper. I know that freaking James Conner's there, but he always misses time. And this guy's big. He's 6 feet, 216, might be like 220. You got Blake Corum with the Rams. You got our boy Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah.
And then you got Jalen Wright with the Dolphins. Ray Davis is interesting because he's a little bit bigger and he could steal some end zone carries, but I don't see him as a.
I think next year was, when we're looking at dynasty, I think next year will be a little bit more running back friendly.
Purdy is quarterback 9-10. Dak, CJ, Love, Burrow, Richardson, Kyler. Good take. We're gonna have fun with him. He's awesome. He's such a cool dude. Seriously, I love him. He's the best.
The rookie running backs this year, I got to go with Taylor. I know he's coming off the knees, so and I know it's like he's the number one. He's the first running back drafted, but he seems like he's in the right spot. So I like him.
I like Taylor too. It's interesting because I'm curious. I've got another guy for you. It's a sleeper, Dad. I want to know your thoughts on this guy. He ran a 4.71, Notre Dame, 220-pounder. Med absolutely loved him. And he doesn't have a ton ahead of him in Denver. I'm curious if there's a chance Estime surprises. He's a sleeper for me that I think the reason that when I think of running backs and I'm not thinking dynasty, because I'm not thinking dynasty on this, like I'm staying like we'll do a dynasty one of these. Not dynasty, just this year. What running back has the easiest path to taking over his job? And when I look at him, Brooks probably has his job. Trey Benson doesn't. He's number 2. Blake Corum's obviously number 2. Kyron have to go down, and James Conner have to go down. Marshawn Lloyd needs to overtake Dylan, and then he would need Jacobs to go down or suck. That's a tough path. Jalen Wright for the Dolphins has 2 guys in front of him. Ray Davis has James Cook in front of him. He's young and established. We're running out of guys. Taylor is one of the only ones I could think of. And then estimated me, the Broncos are going to need to run the ball because they've got freaking Stidham. And I know they got Cortland Sutton, who's an awesome receiver, but you've got there quarterback is you've either got Bo Nix or if he's going to start. So you're going to probably lean on the running game unless he's way better than everybody expected. So I like it. I didn't mean to go so long with this take. I'm sorry. I know we're over an hour. It's not too late there, but I don't want to keep you up too late. Estime is a guy I like. It's because of Med. I like Estime. He's slower, but he's a big, strong back, and I think Denver needs that type of running back.
All right. I like it. It's possible. Javonte Williams, though, is fully healed, fully back.
Yeah, that's the question mark, is he? Because that would be the guy you'd have to overtake because he would not start as number 1. It's probably Taylor Brooks would be the first 2 guys.
The rookie running back, I think this is the guy, Kamani Vidal with the Chargers.
I almost said him. I like him. Honestly, he's got one of the easiest paths to starting. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what has he got in front of him? Who does he have there now? They picked up the Ravens back. and
Well, they got
somebody else.
Gus Edwards and DK Dobbins, right?
Yeah, but Dobbins is always hurt, and Gus Edwards solid. So
I've
that's
seen
interesting.
some people picking Edwards a lot, but I don't know. I like the rookie there because he's for the value. You know, he's further way down the list.
I
But
like it. This guy's got some good takes too, man. My sleeper rookie running back for the year would be Dylan Labe. Labe. He was a guy. Lights coming out. I can see him surpass Madison in the depth chart, and if White gets injured, he could be a sneaky good running back. Interesting. That's
good take.
interesting. What round did he go in? I think he went in the 5th or 6th, right? I'd done a bunch of scouting on him. I think he went in the 6th. Interesting
Yeah,
take. I like that one. That could be a sleeper. All right,
yeah.
Dad. Outside of the obvious guys, the top 3, who do you think? I know we're thinking dynasty on this. Oh, here we go. Hold on. What's your thoughts on Eckler as a breakout candidate? Ooh, that's good.
I'll
Dad,
go
what do you
first.
think?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about Eckler as a breakout candidate in Washington. So I think that Brian Robinson Jr. is going to get his share. And what I've seen based upon PPR, or I mean ADP, I found myself liking Robinson Jr. better at his ADP versus Eckler. So I don't see it. And I know Eckler was strong. You know, he's been strong and with the Chargers. I just don't see it. I don't see it transferring over to Washington. That's just my take. I don't have a good feeling on Eckler. He's one of my bust candidates, I guess.
Here's my concern with Eckler, Rev, and Dad, I like your take. Here's my problem with Eckler, okay? I'm worried. The NFL is like a not-for-long league in such a way. This is my concern with Aaron Rodgers. It may happen. But you remember Brett Favre's last season as a quarterback? It's a different analogy, but you just hit that cliff sometimes, and it happens with running backs even faster. Like sometimes, like it could be less than a season. It could be an injury, or it could be at the beginning of the season they look great, and the end of the season they're done, and they never get it back. And I'm concerned Eckler already hit that cliff. Last year, he's only 29, but he fell down to 3.5 yards a carry, and that's down from 5.5 early on in his career. I just think he's lost the zip, and I think Brian Robinson Jr., if he's healthy, is pretty established as a pretty solid running back 1. He almost made my top 25. He was hovering in that range. So I'm concerned about Eckler if he's got it left. He did battle injuries. He comes back healthy, but sometimes guys just don't bounce back in the NFL. Yeah. Jason thinks that Packers are going to use A.J. Dillon at fullback more than running back. That's interesting because he's going to need to find a spot on the roster. I think because they fully guaranteed him, they don't want to cut him, and they like his leadership. But he better bounce back himself because he's only 26, and he's looking washed. So I'm concerned about A.J. Dillon, honestly.
I can't wait until Marshawn Lloyd takes over that backfield. I don't know if it'll be this year.
I think he's got a shot this year. If Jacob sucks, we're not on the hook. I'd have to look at his contract. Do you know how much we're on the hook for past this year? Oh, Peter, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining.
I don't.
I think his base is 5, and I think he got a signing bonus of like 5 or 6, maybe more. I think it was like 25-ish guaranteed. So I think there'd be like 15 to, I don't know, maybe a little less than 15 guaranteed. So I bet we'd keep him for 2 seasons. But if they like Lloyd, they're going to give him run. And I like him. I think he's going to get touches. Mm-hmm. All right. I got to get to my favorite position with you, other than rookie running backs. What? And then I'll get a Packer thought, then we'll close.
Okay.
What's a sleeper rookie receiver? So not a Malik Neighbors or a Harrison or a Dunze. Let's take the top 3 drafted out. Well, who's a guy you think could actually challenge one of those guys?
McConkley, right?
Huh?
We've already talked about McConkley and the Chargers. We know that he's got a good shot there. So we're not going to talk about
Lad.
Like
that name, man. It's a fun name. I threw Lad the ball today. I threw Laddie the ball. That accent. Leggett. Ooh. We got some takes here. All right, Dad. Where people are throwing some comments in.
I
Rev
hear
says Leggett. Peter says Johnny Wilson in Philadelphia. Jason says Marshawn Lloyd will be the number 2 back behind Josh Jacobs. I like it. Nice. Good
Sure.
stuff, peeps.
My
I
guy
got one for you.
is my guy is the guy who's going to be in New England, Polk,
Polk?
with Drake May,
Jalen Polk.
Jalen Polk. As far as sleeper rookie, sleeper.
And he threw up 1,100 yards last year and 1,159 actually, and 10 TDs as Rome Odunze's sidekick in Washington. And he's going to be the de facto number 1. I mean, Hunter Henry still might be the de facto 1 target, but he'll be the number 1 receiver.
You always like
Ooh,
this McMillan in Tampa Bay. Ooh, I gotta look at
that's
that.
a hot take. I like that one. Let's throw that
I'm writing these down. I'm writing these down, just
Jalen McMillan. So there are flashes of greater potential, injuries, and a pair of teammates held down Washington. He was from Washington. Ooh. Polk and Baker? This is fun, man. All right, Dad. Yeah, what you got? What you think on? Let's hit some of these comments. What do you think of McMillan?
I'm gonna have to look him up, to be honest.
Okay, so he played with Washington. The previous season, he had 4 more passes and 2 more TDs than Rome Odunze.
Yeah.
Last year, he started awesome, 311 yards and 4 TDs the first 3 games. But he was the number 3 receiver there behind Polk and Odunze in Washington.
Honestly, he's pretty deep, so I'm going to have to look him up, but I wrote his name down.
All right, so who's your sleeper?
Well, it's Polk, remember?
Okay, it's a Polk?
It's definitely just because, you got a new receiver there in New England. He's going to find his new favorite targets, and Polk has the best chance of any of them, those New England receivers, to step into a wide receiver, into a target share that's pretty damn good at wide receiver 1. So
we hit up Ladd, so I won't take the Ladd take because I think he's going to be the Chargers number 1, and I think he's got offensive player of the year potential if it's not a Marvin Harrison. I got one for you, and I think you know about this guy. He was a higher pick, so it's not really fair. He's not a super sleeper.
You're not talking about Worthy, are you?
No, I'm talking about Brian Thomas Jr. with Jacksonville. If Christian Kirk gets hurt again,
he's a first round pick.
Okay, fine. All right. We'll take first rounders out of it. Okay, fine. Hold on. I wasn't prepared for this. Actually, I'm gonna go. If Bryce Young is gonna have anybody to freaking throw the ball to that isn't freaking Adam Thielen, you got to think Leggette's gonna be decent, right? Like,
well,
I'm not huge on him though.
So
tough one. Who said Leggett earlier? Rev, Rev said Leggett. I'm going to go Leggett just because I think he's the receiver 1. I don't think it's going to be Thielen.
I've got one more thing to say. Pittsburgh, I like Roman Wilson from Michigan. I like him as a player. I'm not talking about fantasy right now. I'm just talking about Roman Wilson.
Dynasty.
Pittsburgh. I think he will be a good player in the NFL. I like him.
Okay, we've gone for a while, and I didn't mean to go so long. If you want to this night, because I've got some busy weeks coming up, we could hit some Dynasty stuff now, or we could save it for the show in 2 weeks that you're doing with me. It's up to you. I don't care. It's up to you. We've already gone for an hour and 20, so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close with, we'll hit some Dynasty in that show. We're bringing some guests on, so we'll hit Dynasty then. Or we'll do this next week or something. All right. Okay, let's do one tight end, and then let's close with some Packer fantasy thoughts, and that'll be it. All right, give me a tight end sleeper. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay.
They say that a tight end is a quarterback's best friend, and the rookie Jaden Daniels is going to need a tight end to throw the ball to. I'm going to go Ben Sinnott. I think Zach Ertz is 33. He still has some talent, but he could fall off quick. He's been injured. I think he has a good chance to be the receiver or their tight end 1. And as good as their 2 receivers are, Dotson's pretty solid, and Scary Terry is legit. I like him. I also like Jatavion Sanders. Um, Bryce Young again is going to need somebody to throw the ball to if he's going to not be a complete bust. But even then, they're still going to have to throw the ball to somebody. Um, I like I like Sanders. I liked his potential. He was solid in Texas, so I like those two dudes with the Panthers and the Commanders.
A sleeper. Well, for me,
Oh,
it's
Jason
12.
said it. Ricky Pearsall. I agree. You said that. You slipped him in
Oh
earlier.
yeah, we're not sleeping on Pearsall. Um,
Oh, wait. Packers fantasy thoughts. Peter is a Bears fan, our resident Bear fan, other than Med, and he said you were going to win the Super Bowl this year. I posted that on Twitter that we were going to win the Super Bowl. It's 14 years. It's our year. So you already knew that, though. The Bears, they'll make a wild card. There you go.
so when I look at tight end, I try to get somebody in the top 5 because I want an advantage at that position, right? So when you talk about sleeper, I look at people that are outside of the.
Yeah, I
They're
know. I
either
gave you
10,
a
11,
top. I gave
10,
you a top
11,
rookie, but yeah.
10, 11, 12. Well, the guy you gave me is kind of his projected is going to be just barely as a tight end one. Who I like is a guy who can he's got the potential to be a top 3 to 5 tight end, which is where I want to be.
Okay. Who you got?
Evan Ingram with the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Oh, I was giving you rookies.
and
Sorry.
he
Dad,
is a
I give you a rookie. Sorry. I thought we were doing rookies. My bad. I got another one for you then. Sorry, I was
okay.
looking at rookie tight ends. You're good.
Well, you named them all, so I mean,
No, I know. Yeah, you're good.
except for
Eric
Bobby.
All is another one I like too. He's good. All right, just just tight end sleeper. Yeah, Ingram's pretty good. He was actually number 2 last year. He was awesome.
And he's
Um,
rated as a tight end, like
I've
he's an
heard some
ADP
bad.
is like 10 or 11. Doesn't make
I've heard
sense.
some, I've heard some bad stuff about Dalton Kincaid. Um, guy that people are starting to sleep on is Kittle a little bit, but I'll give you another guy in the NFC who's getting a new OC. And
Pitts?
no, I'm going to go Goddard, actually.
Okay.
I think that if he stays healthy, I think that he's good downfield. I want to see if they can get a little more passing in that passing game out of Hurts this year. And I think that Kellen Moore is going to try to find creative ways to get him the ball and Saquon. They've
That's fair.
obviously got Devonta Smith. There's a lot of mouths to feed there, but I think they're going to have some big games this year. Wow.
Sounds good.
They called the Bears-Texans game due to weather. Dang. Peter Russell, this is a good take because of the Kincaid thing. Dawson Knox in Buffalo. Somebody's got to catch the ball.
What's wrong with Kincaid? What's happening?
I just have been hearing he's not really doing well. I was listening to the NFL Ringer show.
Did he eat some bad,
I've just been hearing he's not standing out in camp so far. This guy, man, he's got to be pissing you off at this point, right? You're like, when is this guy going to freaking pan out?
I'm glad I don't have him in Dynasty, right?
So here's what we're going to do. To close the show, I want you to give any final fantasy thoughts and any Packers season or fantasy thoughts. Couple minutes, you go, and then I'll go and close.
Not much on fantasy. We that's all we've been talking about. So the Packers, I think they've improved their offensive line. Love is in his second year, so he should take a step forward. We have a receiving group that's young, fairly talented. 2 tight ends that are, again, young, pretty talented. We improved our defensive linebackers tremendously. We improved our defensive backs with 2 DBs, 2 safeties that are probably going to start right off the bat. And we have, I think we have strong corner with Alexander and the rest of the crew there. The defensive line, I think, is adequate, right? I don't see a problem
That's
with
the concern for me. Is it a good enough?
So
are we going to have a great pass rush? And are we going to be able to stop the run? It's a question mark for me.
Does Luke Van Ness take that step forward from a number 1 pick? Maybe, probably, hopefully. You still have Rashawn Gary. What's
Wyatt going to do?
We've got a lot. So I think that we're going to compete with Detroit for the division. That's what I think. And I think it's going to be an exciting year for the Packers and for Detroit.
Ooh, we got a Packer. I don't know if he's a Packer fan. The Cole Kmet take, Jason. I agree. Good take. Thank you for watching. And Jason's awesome.
Yes,
I'm excited to have him on this year.
he's
He's
another
great. And
sleeper.
Rev, Justin Tessier, however you say it. Sorry if I butchered your last name. I like Tucker Kraft building and improving as a sleeper tight end this year in fantasy. And for the Packers in the NFL, it's another weapon for Love in the receiving group. Good take, dude. I'm curious if him and Musgrave are going to kind of eat like into each other's targets. I personally like Kraft better. I think he's a better blocker as well.
I feel like it's a great situation for football, not a great situation for fantasy.
I agree. They're a weird team because it's like, who's going to stand out? Is Watson going to be healthy? These are all things people have been saying, and I agree. If Watson's healthy, I think he'll end up as the one. But the guy that I really love on this roster, it's actually two. I absolutely love Jaden Reed. I think he has the potential to be special.
You're
And
not
I
going to
think
say
that-
Dontavian Wicks, are you?
I'm going to say Dontavian Wicks. I am. As much as he likes Dubs on that fade, and Dubs has flash potential, he's been banged up. And if Dubs and Watson don't watch it, they're going to get usurped. I'm going to throw a curve at you here too. Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks are going to usurp them on the depth chart. But I also think that Bo Melton, if he keeps getting time, or Dubois, if he comes, I've been hearing good things out of camp out of him, have a chance to slide in as the 3 or 4 if Watson and Dubs have another injury-plagued campaign. And both of those guys have been severely injury-prone. I said his last name correctly. Yeah, Lions fan. Dude, so I've got the Packers at 11-6 this year. I've got the Lions as the 1 seed in the NFC at 12-5. I love their talent. They hit secondary. We keep messing up our number 1 picks. I don't know about Morgan, but Xavier McKinney, man, that was the signing of the offseason for us. And if Josh Jacobs can just be, 3/4 of what Aaron Jones was at the end of last season, we're in great shape. Peter's got a question here. Would you consider Jake Ferguson a sleeper? That's a really good take, Dad. What do you think of that one? Is he a sleeper?
No, I don't think so.
The question mark for me is how high is that guy's ceiling? Because there's some guys ahead of him. He doesn't look like a difference maker, but at times he did. I don't know. I don't see him cracking in the top 5.
He's got the top. My
He's
tight
solid.
end 12.
Solid.
I guess you could say he's a sleeper for like a top 5 tight end. Showing. He's definitely he has that potential.
He did have 3 TDs in that playoff game, so that was interesting. Peter said good call there on the Cole Kmet. He didn't want to be a homer. Jason said Packers are going to be 14-3 and the Lions will be 12-5. That's a high record for our D. We're going to find out very soon. Finally, it's already
Hopefully
August.
our new defensive coordinator brings some aggression to the defense. So,
I agree.
if that happens, we'll compete with Detroit. But
and I'm going to throw this on the air.
Detroit right now. They're the better team. For sure.
I need one more. We need one more for our Eliminator League. I never do this on a show, but if any of you want to join my Eliminator League for 20, let me know. I need one more person. I normally don't do it, but if anybody wants to join, we got 17 out of 18. We need one more guy. It'll be in mid to late August. If you're interested, if you watch this all the way through to almost an hour and 30 minutes, let me know. All right, so here's what's coming up on Fun Football. Next, hold on, wrong notebook. 1 second, I got 2 shows. Hold on. Let me find the page. There it is, Fun Football on Tuesday, August 6th with Bill. Gotta believe, Isaac, gotta believe. NFC North could be the highest division this year. Toughest, it easily could be. All right, so here's the fun stuff coming up, people. I'm very excited. We've got Nick B, writer from Packer Talk Net. He's done a lot of awesome interviews. He's a writer for Packers website. He's coming on Tuesday. And Matt Froelich, he's a co-host on Pack-A-Day. They're both joining me and Bill Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern. Next week on Blitz on Thursday, we're flipping days. Talking football, really fun show with 3 dudes are going to join me and Med next Thursday at 7 Eastern. Then moving forward every week after that, Fun Football will be on Friday nights at 8 Eastern. Blitz will be on Tuesdays. Here's the other guests for August. on Blitz on the 13th on Tuesday, we have Bears Country Podcast and our boy Peter Russell, who thinks the Packers are going to be 3-14. He'll be joining us. I'm going to be surrounded, Dad, by this many Bears fans. Bears
Nice.
Country is 4, Peter makes 5, and Med makes 6. I will have 6 Bears fans with me.
That's scary right there.
They curse a lot too,
I
but it'll
didn't
be
know there
fun.
was 6 Bears fans that get together like that.
I didn't know. They normally don't. They're normally depressed by mid-October because they suck. So
You're going to say August.
on the next Tuesday after that, on August 20th, we're gonna have a fantasy preview, Dad. If you wanna, you should listen in on this one. I've got a guy, Fantasy's Finniest. He's a Philly fantasy fan. Ballers and Briefs and Big Draft Energy are gonna join me and Med for a big fantasy show. Chris asked a good question. How can you handle that? Oh, it's more than likely 14-3. Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to handle that many, Chris. That's a good question. And then I'm really excited for this. We got an SEC writer for a college football preview special on the 27th on Blitz on Tuesday. We're going to have Link, who's also into the SEC, joining us. For fun football people, this is some stuff. I'm very excited. We're going to have a fantasy special. My dad's going to join me on the 16th, 2 weeks from tomorrow, with Operation Domination. And we're going to have a Sirius XM fantasy host, and he writes for the Seattle Seahawks, Scott Engel. He's huge in fantasy. They both are. Huge YouTube channel for Operation Domination. They're to do fantasy football advice on YouTube with my dad. They're going to join us for a fantasy special Friday, August 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then I'm excited for this. This is going to be fun. On the 23rd, Rev Trev, who you saw in the comments, and Matt Ramage, who just had a freaking fence painted with, he had the end of it, Dad. He's a big Packer podcaster. He had a fence with a bunch of other big Packer podcasters, and him, he made it on there. He's awesome. He's had some great hosts, great guests. He's awesome. I'm very excited to have him on. He absolutely hates the Bears, so Peter is going to be, that's all there. And then I think we're going to do a fantasy special. I'm going to be in Arizona at the end of August. So I'm going to join my dad for a live show, and we're going to have Rev Trev on and our buddy who does fantasy with us. So, yeah, that's awesome. Jason says he's here to help us. That's going to be fun. Dad, man, I'm sorry it went an hour and a half, but that was a lot of fun. Thank you, man.
A lot of fun, guys.
All right, guys, that is the show. I will be back on Tuesday. I might do a Spaces on X tomorrow. This is my dad. I'm going to have him on a couple more times this month, probably a bunch during the season. But we've just got some more fantasy stuff for y'all. So, cool. Wait. Hold on really quick. Better friends than... This Bears Packer stuff is going to be fun. All right, guys. I am Izac with Fun Football Podcast. That's my dad. We will be back soon. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, bye.